Hi, Shelly here. In this week's video, I'll be working on an 11 by 14 inch hardboard canvas. This is my inspiration. Sorry I couldn't find the artist's information on this piece. I will keep looking, and if I find it, I will list it below. I'll be experimenting with texture paste, gel prints, lace, and wallpaper paste. So I hope you'll enjoy the video, that you'll be inspired to break out your art supplies, go through that stash, and get creating. So let's get started. I'm going to start with a little bit of paint, and I'm going to keep it in the earth tones. I've got some browns out here. And I'm going to start off with some khaki and some off-white, and I'm using a quartered bath sponge. I love these, and I'm just going to start off by covering my canvas for a quick start. I got way too much paint, as I sometimes do. I love it already. Let's do the edges real quick. What I don't think I am going to add in my darker colors, because I want my background to be kind of very, very neutral. I think I'm going to leave it like that, and I will brush these onto my practice journal. I put out a little bit of my modeling paste, texture paste, whatever you got, and I'm adding a little bit of off-white into it, just a regular off-white paint, just to warm it up a little bit so it's not so stark white. I didn't put very much. I don't want to thin it out too much, and this paste will thin out very quickly if you put a lot of color into it. It's going to pounce off. I'm going to use this same sponge, but I don't want that brown in there, so I'm just going to pounce around till I get most of my paint off. Still had a lot on there. And then going back and forth between these two gel prints. I like them both for this project, but I've decided I'm going to go with this one. I think I'm going to go with this stencil. I'm going to line it up here on the bottom, and then I'm going to take my sponge and go into my paste off-white, kind of spread it around, and then I'm going to go in and stencil it right onto my canvas. Now I definitely will wash off my stencil when I'm done. I always smush it between two paper towels so that there's really hardly anything left by the time I rinse it under the water, but oh, very cool. There's some places I didn't get it very good, but that's okay. Just a background, and I want it to be kind of hit and miss. I'm going to smush these, not really smush, I do smush, I guess, between the stencil here, and then I'm going to dry this a little bit with my heat tool. It won't dry fully, as of course I've got paste on there, but I'm going to get a little bit off so it'll dry faster. I got it really heavy over here, right down here. You can, let's see if you can see it up close there. You get some really nice little texture. And then I'm just going to line up my stencil and finish off this edge. Hold on tightly and go slow. All right, now I'm going to go rinse this off. I think I've changed my mind and I'm going to go with this. I really like the tones better for what I'm doing, but we'll see. I could change my mind again if that could happen. Who knows? I still like what I've got. I'm very happy with this, and I don't think it's completely dry. It's close. So, but what I did was I took one of my leaf variety stencil, and I just took out some of the leaves I thought I might want to use and made them bigger and cut them out of cardstock. Now I can use this either as a stencil or I can use the paper cutouts, and I'm going to start by using the paper cutouts to see if this is what I want. In my inspiration photo, all the leaves are the same, but I thought it would be fun to mix it up and have all different leaves. So of course I don't want to do the same thing that the artist did. Never want to do that. And then I just want a few of them to be from the gel print. I'm not going to do the stems because I'm just going to paint those on, I think. I originally thought I was going to decoupage these guys on, or I originally thought I was going to put these guys on to the back, and then these, I wasn't sure what I was going to do with these other leaves. But in looking at our inspiration again and thinking about it, why am I keeping these? I think I've come up with what I want to try to do with the other leaves. And then I can do these in front or back, whatever I wish, because some of these will be decoupaged on as well. And I think what I want to do is take this gel print. I need some gold and I don't have gold. So I think what I'm going to do is I got out my stencil. I just want to add a little more to my background here and make it a little bit more, jazz it up just a little bit. That is not giving me, so I think maybe what the better way to do it is just to brush it on. All right, I think that's going to be fantastic. So now we need to decide what is going to be what. I think I like it with these, with more colorful ones being an odd number and a few less. The other idea I had, what if I took some pieces of lace and glued them on over a couple of the gold ones, painted the lace gold, and then put them, just a couple of them, maybe 3 here in front, and they go on last maybe. I think it could be kind of groovy if we could make it work. More color. Now that I've figured out what I want to use for color, I want to add a little bit of that in to our background. Oh, this is not going to go well. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to take just a little bit of water and put it in a few, just go through and add just a little bit of color here and there to the background. Not the yellow, but the golden color. Let's see if I can get some of that off there. Close enough. I really like that. Okay. I think that is good. I've got one piece of lace for this one. Do we want to do something with the pattern on it? Ooh, that might be fun. And I think what I'm going to do is glue it on, and then I'll cut around it so that if I stretch it, okay, now I think I'm going to use regular old white glue for this. I want it to be a little on the thick side so that it will adhere and hold it there. Then once it's dry, we'll cut around the edges, paint it with a little gold, and then we'll be ready to continue. So next morning, and I'm just going to peel my lace leaves off of here. I love how they turned out. And then I'm just going to cut the edges off. I'm going to add some gold to these on top, but before I do that, I want to get my leaves figured out where I'm going to put everything so I can get my decoupaging done, and then I can let these dry before I attach them at the end. Does that make sense? So the hard part is remembering, I'm sure it's going to change, but remembering where everything was here. Okay, I think I like that. The question will be, can I get it all down back like this? I do not know. All right, so we know that guy's gonna be there. We're not exactly sure. It's not gonna be exact, but I just want to have a good idea. We know that one's going to be on the top. This is going to be on the top. So we'll start off with this guy first. I love the texture on this. Very, very fun. Where was this guy? Right in here? Yeah, I think. Already forgetting. And now I want to, I think I'm just going to use a chip brush so that I can get in the nooks and crannies. This lace was from my wedding dress. We were cleaning out the attic a while back. My mother made my dress. And she was an incredible woman. I picked a dress that I liked out at the time from a bridal magazine, and she made the pattern, everything, made that exact dress. It was a very expensive dress. Got the lace, was able to get the exact lace to make it, everything. She was really quite amazing. Anyway, she did the same for my sisters as well, by the way. She was an incredible one. But anyway, but I don't have daughters, and the dress had a stain on it I couldn't get out, a punch stain, and so I decided, you know what? It's time to let it go. 30 years it's been sitting in a bridal box. It's time to use it. Now I can enjoy it in my art more than sitting in a box up in the attic. Okay, so we'll let this dry, and then I've got to decide how are we going to attach these, because they are quite thick. All right, the first thing I want to do is go and put my stems on, and I'm not really sure what color I want. So I have these brown Pitt pens. So I think I'm going to start with that, and then I might put gold over it. I'm just not sure. I kind of want to do it and see what I get. And I do not want it to be perfect. Not using a ruler. I'm guessing at the ones in the back. Actually, I like that, and I'm not going to do the gold pen. Now I want to, in our inspiration piece, the artist has a raised edge, and I just absolutely love that. So I want to try to replicate that somehow, and I am wondering if I use my transparent Ranger paste. It's going to be too thick, but I'm going to add a bunch of paint to it, so I'm hoping that is going to thin it out. Otherwise, we're going to have to use some water. And I don't know how much I'm going to need, but I'm just going to go ahead and use the last of this. And I'm using the Folk Art Metallic Antique Gold for this. I also have an old glue bottle. I was at Goodwill or our local thrift store and found a whole package of these, a big Ziploc bag full of them a few years back, and I just thought, wow, there's a teacher that had those, saved them for something and then changed her mind. I don't know, but yeah, so I figured I needed those, and I have used them for many things. Glad that I bought them for probably $1.50 or something. I don't remember what I paid for them, but it was cheap. So I'm hoping I can get this thin enough that it'll want to come out. Let's add a little water to it. I feel like it's too much. That's the wonderful part of working on either a Mod Podge surface or a matte medium. When you have it all over, you can just wipe it all up when things are wet. And so the gold is not making me happy. Okay, I'm not saying that this doesn't work. This works. But it's just not what I want. I'm not sure exactly what I want, but that's not it. So my next thing I'd like to try is the wallpaper paste. I don't think the Aztec Gold is what I want. So what I kind of want to do here, I don't know much about the Pearl-Ex powders, but I'm going to put some in of this, and then I'm going to put some of the interference. It says interference. What we're interfering with, but and see what that does for us. It's pretty good consistency right there. I don't seem to have any chunks or anything. And it is very sparkly. I'm going to put just a little water. I don't need much. I'm already, but I don't know as that's going to come out of my bottle. It's very subtle, but I think that's going to be more what I want. Okay. Let's put her in. I guess if we can't make this work with the paste, then we'll just go around everything with the gold pen or something and call it good. But I'd really like to make this work if we can. Man, I got the consistency just perfect. It's just coming out of there lovely. It's a very subtle gold. It's not in your face like it was before. So I think I like that a lot better. Not sure what I want to do here. And let the papers stand out a little bit more. Now I wonder if I should be doing this all the way down or just on the leaves. because I do like the contrast of the stems. Would it look weird to just have it on the leaves or on the tree tops? That's what it's kind of looking like here. Let's try it. We can always add it back in later. I do like that brown for the stems. I've got just a couple of bubbles, so I'm going to take my little awl here, and not a bunch, but just a couple. Yeah, this wallpaper paste, I'm telling you, I am a huge fan. The consistency is better than the paste. Well, that was probably my fault because of the amount of water I put in it, but man, this is just so smooth and lovely. And I know I'm not the only one that does it, but when artists or crafters say, you know, oh my gosh, I love it, you know, and I hope you are like me if you're watching this. It's because we're kind of surprised, because sometimes, you know, I mean, I have these ideas and I think this is going to work, and, you know, sometimes it does, sometimes it's not as good, but, you know, you get these ideas and then you try them out, and when they turn out, it's just so exciting. So I hope you don't look at me and say, oh, she's so conceited, she just loves her. I'm always just amazed that it turned out and that it's going the way it was kind of in my head, you know. So yeah, I hope you're not put off by that. I don't mean that in a, oh, look at me, I'm so great. Not at all. All right, now what are we going to do for the insides of these? Of course, it'll be super sad if it just is great, but then after this paste dries, I look at it tomorrow morning, it's all flat. Hopefully not. Okay, what do I want to do for my interiors? I don't want to do any more on these small ones because there's not very much real estate. So I think all right, I have no idea how long these are gonna last. If they'll be dried out by tomorrow, we'll see. If I'll be able to use them again, I don't know. I hate to whine, but I've had one of those mornings. where I can't get my videos after Patch Tuesday yesterday. I can't get my videos off of my phone onto my computer. And so I just thought, well, I'm just gonna go make more videos that I can't get off my phone. I'm hoping to find a solution at some point. Anyways, I come down to get going on my canvas and realize that I forgot my leaves with the lace on them. So I just recorded this whole segment of me putting them on to my canvas and how to do that and all that, and then realized I did not press record. Okay, so what I did was I put a little beacon glue on the back of each of these leaves to make sure they're, first of all, and then I put them also into the matte mediumed all around them, and tapped around with my finger to make sure that I don't have any weird texture around those. It's gonna come out. Now I'm going to let this dry, and then after I let it dry, we're gonna come back and add our stems for these three. And then we will take our wallpaper paste mixture and put that around the edges. I also talked about, as it's dried, I see some places where I got some separation here, and we'll go back and fix all those. I wish that I had not added water to it. I was, my first time, I don't know what I'm doing, so I experiment, and I've learned. So if you use wallpaper paste and an old glue bottle, try it out before you just go and add in water, because I think that it would have been even more awesome. I love the texture. I don't know if you can probably see a little bit of it, but you know, the camera, you can only do so much. But anyways, it still turned out really cool. I'm very pleased with it so far, but I wish I would have tried it without the water. And we're gonna see now overnight and a couple hours from now when this dries, I'm hoping. And I hope that our paste will still work and I won't be stuck mixing up a whole new batch. We'll see. All right, I'm a little worried. I guess I can hear it in there, so maybe we're okay. I don't know. I need to start by putting in my stems for these guys. Oh, what a relief. And maybe some of that moisture is, I don't know, we're about to find out. So I'm going to start on this side, and some of these areas where it kind of separated, I'm going to go in. Make sure we've got all those covered. What I'm wondering is, I think I would like this laced area a little better if I had a little shine to it. So I think what I'm going to do is just in some of these places where the lace is raised, I'm going to come in and tap a little of this. See if that brings a little bit of shine to the pattern. But this is really fun. If it lasts, I mean, I definitely will be doing this again. Very cool. Okay, now we let this dry. Well, that's my canvas. I'm super excited how it turned out. Always amazed when it turns out. And I hope you'll try some of these techniques or things that I used today, and gosh, it was just a lot of fun. And I hope you'll join me in my next video. Bye for now.